What's up, everybody? And today we're checking out B-1 Lancer, America's best bomber. This is by the Fat Electrician. You know me. You know me. I love me some aircraft videos. Someone sent me this and said you should check this out. It's relatively short. It's fun. It's the Fat Electrician. As always, I can't say no to that, can I? I'll leave a link down below to the original video. I'm very, very excited to get into this one. It is really short, though. So sit back, relax. I actually think, yeah, by the looks of the format, it's almost like in the horizontal, like a reel format, but it is 3 minutes and 50 seconds long. So sit back, relax. It's Friday. Enjoy it. Sip on your chug, 10% off, link down below. You should get one. Handmade here in the UK. I said this in a previous video. As I get older, as I turn into a bit of a boomer, I'm trying to buy things that last a lifetime. Like, I'm fed up of buying things that just fall apart within a year. Like my cast iron pans, I've really gone deep on all that stuff. And my clothing, I pay a little bit extra to get better quality. This is one of them things. Handmade in the UK. If you want to look like a legend, if you want something that'll last you a lifetime, 10% off, link down below. I cannot recommend it enough. And check out Morale. The new episode of Morale Boost should be up today or tomorrow. The clothing's in. Here's one of the tags from the clothing's. Boop. Very, very exciting. If you didn't see the reel with me and Steph wearing the sweatshirt and the t-shirt and all that lot, it's very exciting. If you backed the Kickstarter, you should be getting that soon. If you didn't back the Kickstarter, you will be able to get that stuff. 1st of September is what we're aiming for. Whether or not we actually get it at that time is another question, but that's what we're going to aim for. I think that's all I've got to say. Let's shut up. Let's pull this up. And let's just chill and watch some Fat Electrician. I've just realized I've never watched him in this format, this real format before. So this is gonna feel really weird.
Today we're talking about Fatal Bingo. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, America only utilizes 3 types of strategic bombers. And we've already talked about the world's spiciest Dorito, the B-2 Spirit, and the 70-year-old veteran of the sky, the B-52 Buff.
I don't think I've ever heard of the B-2 bomber being called the Spicy Dorito. Is that a thing? Is that what people call it? Is that just a term that the Fat Electrician said? Let me know.
AKA Buffy the Forehead Slayer. And based on the poll I conducted this week, this is probably going to be pretty controversial, but I think I've saved the best for last. Okay, maybe best isn't the right word, but it's definitely my personal favorite. Ladies and gentlemen, the B-1 Lancer, AKA the Bone.
Really?
See what they did there? B-1, B-1, Bone. Get it? Moving on. So why is it my personal favorite? Well, for starters, it was the only one that was nerfed with an international treaty. The B-1 was originally designed and capable of delivering nuclear warheads, but the Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty of 1991 specifically required that the B-1 only be capable of delivering conventional warheads. So why was the enemy so scared of the Bone? Well, because it was the fastest bomber that America had, and the only one capable of achieving supersonic flight.
So they had to nerf it because it could carry nukes? Is that real? That's insane.
At a max speed of Mach 1.2. It also had the highest payload capacity of any other American bomber. I'm trying to tell you that the Bone can carry more warheads than the B-52, and it can do it while traveling faster than the speed of sound. Believe me, I know that sounds insane, and I had to triple check it myself, but yes, the Bone can carry more bad guy to baloney mist technology than the B-52.
It's smaller though, isn't it? Isn't it a smaller aircraft? How is that possible?
5,000 pounds more, to be exact. This aircraft is literally nothing but horsepower and gunpowder. And if that wasn't enough cool guy points, it's also the only bomber that has a variable swept wing configuration, which is just a bunch of fancy words that means it can extend its wings out to generate more lift when taking off and landing, or it can retract its wings when traveling at a supersonic speed to reduce drag. I'm trying to tell you that the B-1 can put the most warheads on the most foreheads the fastest, and it's basically a fucking transformer.
The most warheads on the most foreheads. That is something I've not heard before, and it might be one of my favorite quotes that I've heard in a long time. The most warheads on the most foreheads.
This aircraft is quite literally the polar opposite of Bob Ross, ready to unpaint a happy little mountain at a moment's notice. Believe it or not, the B-1 was actually originally designed to replace the B-52. Essentially, they wanted a plane that could carry just as many bombs as the B-52, but travel much faster and specialize in low-level penetration. Yes, the plane referred to as the Bone has extendable wings and specializes in low-level penetration.
Giggity giggity.
Giggity goo.
Originally, this plane was actually a scrapped project deemed too expensive and a waste of taxpayers' dollars. The only reason it was brought back is because the B-2 stealth project was taking too long, and Uncle Sam figured if you can't be sneaky, you might as well be fast. Not getting caught is not getting caught. It doesn't matter how you do it. And with over 12,000 combat missions flown since 2001, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that was a good idea.
12,000 combat missions. That's very impressive. That is really, really impressive. And the plan to retire in 2036. And I feel like these kind of numbers are usually they're usually sooner than they actually happen. So if something says it's going to retire in 2036, it might actually be like 2040. That's impressive. When did they go into when did they come into existence? Let me have a look real quick. When did the B-1 bomber come into existence? Start production. That's what I want. That's what I want. Couldn't think of the word there to Google. The prototype was 1973, 1974. Full-scale production in the 1980s. And then, full-scale production in the 1980s, basically. 1983. March 1983, to be very specific. So it's been around for a long time. And if it goes all the way to 2036, that's an impressive amount of time. You know me, I say one of the most important parts about military kit is longevity and adaptability. Looks like it's got both of them.
Unfortunately, the B-1 is slotted for retirement in the coming years, pending the release of America's new bomber, the B-21 Raider, which is basically the B-2 2.0. Which raises the question, what would the B-1 2.0 look like? Well, we don't have to wonder because that concept was already proposed in 2004. Now, the prototype of the B-1 was known as the B-1A. The production model that we just talked about was known as the B-1B. What do you think the next variant would be named? Did you guess the B-1C? Because you would be wrong. Apparently, the E-4 Mafia got a hold of this concept and decided to convince their chain of command to skip a couple of letters because this concept aircraft is named the B-1 Regional, or the B-1R for short. Yes, they named it the Boner.
I got a boner.
I've never been more proud of the Air Force in my entire life. And while it is just a concept, legend.
Boner.
The Freedom Boner would specialize in low-level penetration and travel at a max speed of Mach 2.2. It would also be equipped with a plethora of air-to-air defenses, which would make it very hard to deal with. In conclusion, as much as I don't want it to be true, the B-1
I love the fact that this video has way too many innuendos in it.
is slotted for retirement and will probably never grow and mature to be the full-blown Freedom Boner that it could be. There's always hope that the B-21 Raider project will take too long and Uncle Sam will get impatient. And then maybe, just maybe, the B-1R will become a reality.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
To quote Bob Ross, there are no mistakes, just happy accidents. Thank you for watching. Best way
Yeah, go check out the Fat Electrician. Let me
support the
finish
channel is
off.
go buy some merch at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang, out.
His videos are fantastic. That was a good, short but sweet one with some really good information on there. That makes me want to do a deeper dive into the B-1 bomber. I don't know too much about it, and from the sounds of it, considering how impressive it actually is, I feel like we should do a full-blown video on it. We should look into it a little bit more. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below on that. Of course, I will leave a link down below to the Fat Electrician's video. It'd be silly not to do that because he's one of, if not the best content creator on YouTube, in my opinion. Check out Chug, 10% off, link down below. Check out Morale if you haven't already. Check out the new Morale podcast, Morale Boost, which is really exciting. Episode 3 going up today or tomorrow. Other than that, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.